My stint in Delhi was fun. I had my fill of Mughalai food, and I soaked in the old city. Got my ass handed to me by the Delhi Police Department, and laughed it all off with some Hasya yoga. Now it's time to head to the mountains, and there's one natural place to start. Manali sucks in backpackers like a black hole traps light, and it's easy to see why. Heaps of cheap restaurants and guest houses, lots of outdoor adventure sports, and certain herbal remedies to take the edge off, if you know what I'm saying. But I came here with a different purpose in mind, to negotiate the world's highest roads en route to the mountain town of Leh. And I plan to do it all on this. 500 cc's of fury churns out a heart-stopping 23 horsepower. Royal Enfield is an iconic motorcycle choice in India. Now the oldest motorcycle brand in the world still in production, with the Bullet model enjoying the longest motorcycle production run of all time. And it is my weapon of choice to carve through these mountains. Now I'm looking at some serious saddle time to get over those passes, and I'm still a little bit stiff from getting ragdolled by the Delhi police. So I spend my last day in Manali looking for a little relaxation. There's nothing that'll prep you for a long ride better than a hot spring soak. Unfortunately, this one made it into too many guidebooks. And as Alex Garland might say, there's nothing lonely about them now. This one, however, not in the guidebooks, comes on word-of-mouth advice. All local and totally free. They say a soak in these waters cures all kinds of skin diseases. But judging from the bizarre floaties in the water, I'm a little worried about the contrary effect. Feels good though. This hot spring's actually more tepid than hot, but it does feel good on a cool Himalayan afternoon. There are, however, some hot springs just down the road that are so hot that they cook rice and beans in the water. I've learned there's a lot of rust and iron oxidated metal in the water, which, as I've heard, cauterizes wounds. If you've had some sort of a spill or a crash and you've got scratches, you'll heal up faster in this water than in normal water, which might have sewage and might cause an infection. That makes sense. There's a river actually in West Virginia where I used to raft called the Cheat River, which had a very similar component in the water due to mining. And there were legends and stories of guys who'd had it in motorcycle wrecks, all covered with scratches and wounds, who'd come every day and soak in the river, and they would heal up twice as fast as your average person. So maybe there's something to it. Feels good. Would you drink it?
I can drink it. Yeah.
A little bitter. And remember, the book guides, but it doesn't lead. The best tips will always come from locals or fellow travelers. People love to talk about their favorite spots, so you've got easy conversation starter that will lead to friendships and solid advice. If you plan to use a guidebook, here's some advice. First, look at the date it was published. If it's over a year old, that means the research is probably over 2 years old, which makes it ancient history. Second, go to all the pages you're definitely not going to need and rip them out. There's nothing sacred about this book. If you're not going to use it, it's dead weight. Acknowledgements, places you're not going to go, tear them right out. And last, when you get to your destination, find the pages you'll need, rip them out, fold them up, and put them in your pocket. Carrying a heavy guidebook in your hand is restrictive, and it makes you look like Tommy the tourist, which means you're a magnet for every tout and hustler on the street.